We are live finally, and I had already been talking about good 5 minutes, not realizing that I am live. We are starting a different kind of format, so forgive me. We are streaming to Facebook and YouTube at the moment. So I'm very excited to kind of be able to fully record this, huh, Junior? Can I have a kiss now? Thanks. So this is Junior. He is my prehensile tail skink. He is my best bud and also my roommate. He is one of many kind of creepy, crawly, scary animals I have as roommates. But once you get to know them, which you will if you join me for more story time, you will see that they're all pretty cool. So a little bit about Junior while we are waiting for everyone to come on. And also, just because this is new, if you can let me know if you're watching from Facebook or Instagram, that would be really awesome. That way I can make sure that I'm seeing your guys' comments. Because currently I don't see any comments. So Junior is a prehensile tail skink, also known as a monkey tail skink. And he is born in captivity, but his species is from Solomon Islands. And what's really unique about prehensile tail skinks is that they live in family groups. And a family group called a circulus is made up of a male and a female, sometimes two females, and their offspring. And they'll care for their offspring, both mom and dad will, until the baby's old enough to go out on its own and create its own little family. What's also really unique about this species of lizard is that unlike most reptiles that lay eggs, they actually give birth to live young. The mom will have it inside her belly and will nourish it with a type of kind of like a placenta. So almost the same way that humans nourish their babies when they are pregnant. He loves zucchini though. Well, I haven't gotten any comments yet, so I'm wondering how that is going to work out later on when I ask for suggestions. So today's story time, we are going to pick 10 animals from the Discovery Kids Strange But True Animal Facts book. This is one of my favorite animal books. And so we're going to see. I'm going to actually see. Sorry, guys. I'm going to be on my phone. I'm going to see if you guys are chatting online. And maybe that's why I don't see it, is because it has to come through. Yep. Great. So I'm going to have multiple things. Thank you guys for joining. Hi. Good seeing you. Hi, Guy. Good seeing you. Sorry, guys. This is going to be I'm going to be going back and forth trying to answer questions and reading. So we can do it, right, bud? We'll be a team. Okay. So today, if you guys want to give suggestions, please do. And the first one we're going to cover is strange sea creatures. The blobfish's body is mostly made up of light jelly-like tissue. This helps it float using very little energy. The mantis shrimp's eyes are mounted on long stalks, and the young boxfish have bodies shaped like cubes. See that weird yellow fish? The male anglerfish is around 1 inch long. He is dwarfed by the female, which is 8 inches long. Now, the anglerfish is that really cool deep sea creature that has that really long lure that's in front of its face that's bioluminescent. Do you think I was going to feed you? And uses it almost like a fishing lure. So the females are about 8 inches, even though they look much bigger when they're usually on TV. And the males are just 1 inch long. Hi, Robert. I've had Junior for almost 8 years now. They can live to be up to 30 years old. So I'm glad I'm getting Facebook comments on here now. Hooray. Okay, the male anglerfish fuses his head to the side of the female and taps into her bloodstream for food. Now, the anglerfish is really cool because they live in the deep ocean and it's probably really hard to find a mate in this vast darkness. As soon as the male finds a female, he'll actually attach himself and she absorbs him. And so when she's finally ready to mate, he's ready, he's good, and he just is along for the ride for his entire life. And that's it. The body of the leafy sea dragon is covered in stalks, which make it look like a seaweed. And the female jawfish lays eggs, but the male carries them around in his mouth. That's pretty crazy. You see a leafy sea dragon. The giant spider crab can grow to 10 feet wide. That's insane. So if you guys have any animals that you guys would like to highlight on here, just let me know. Hi, Ashton. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for coming on. Okay, let's do ants. So we're going to do 10 animals tonight. Maybe we'll do 10 more another night. But usually by 10 animals, Junior is ready to go night-night. 12 ant facts. The total weight of all the ants in the world is greater than the weight of all the humans. There are about 12,000 different species of ants. An ant can carry more than 50 times its own body weight, equivalent to a human lifting a small truck. Queen ants may live to be over 30 years old. Are you still hungry? Here you go. The Maricopa harvester ant is the most venomous insect in the world, with a sting equivalent to that of 12 honeybees. Wow. Army ants cross gaps in the ground by forming bridges and ladders made of live ants. Could you imagine like creating this like human chain so you can cross bridges or cross the ravines? In Thailand, weaver ants' eggs are eaten with salad. In Mexico, ant eggs harvested from the agave plant are considered such a delicacy that they can be sold for $42 a pound. Does anyone know anything about the leafcutter ants? They're one of my favorite species. So they don't actually eat the leaves that they harvest. They bring them back to the colony, into the nest, where they use them to farm fungus, and they actually eat the fungus. And there's also another species of ant that will actually farm aphids, and they will house the aphids, they'll feed them, they'll care for them, and in return, they milk the aphids for their like sweet juices, and that's what the ants will live off of. Pretty amazing. Robert asks, could I explain the types of lizards and the difference between them? Yeah. So the many different types of lizards, and they all kind of have different unique characteristics. There's some lizards that will drop their tail right. We know that as a defense mechanism. There are other lizards like Junior here who cannot lose his tail. In fact, he has a prehensile tail. You can see how he wraps it around my finger. So there's a lot of muscles in there, and they're all attached to his body, and they all kind of work together. Also, monitors like Komodo dragons, they can't drop their tail. There's also lizards that, like Junior species, that will give live birth. And there's lizards that live in the ocean, like the marine iguana. And they're just, gosh, there's so many cool species of lizard. And they're all different. Junior here, his species is the largest of the living skink species. And they live in trees, which is really unique. Okay, does anybody have any recommendations on animals? We can do, ooh, there's a whole thing on lizards. Okay, let's do one on 11 lizard facts. Robert, just for you. There are about 5,000 different species of lizard. 5,000, that's insane. Lizards smell by sticking out their tongues. In breeding season, male agama lizards turn their heads and tails bright orange and their bodies blue in order to attract females. On my YouTube channel, there's actually a really kind of neat video on these types of lizards and collared lizards and how they change colors when they breed. I was out in the desert and was able to film some, and it was really neat. My pleasure, Robert. When threatened by a predator, the armadillo lizard will curl up and become an unappetizing spiky ball. Glass lizards, if you guys know, I have a legless lizard named Shelton. He's cruising around somewhere. If we see him, I'll take him out, but he's a legless lizard or glass lizard. Glass lizards look like snakes, but they have the eyelids and ear openings like a lizard. The common basilisk can run on water and sometimes is referred to as the Jesus lizard. Many lizards have a dewlap, which is a loose flap of skin that grows under the chin. I'm sure you've seen the iguanas, right? Where they turn sideways and the males will lift it out and they start bobbing their head. Pretty neat. They use this to communicate to each other. Junior does not have a dewlap, though. Komodo dragon facts. The Komodo dragon is the largest lizard in the world, growing to be over 10 feet long. It can sense prey up to 5 miles away using its tongue. That's insane. The muscles in its jaws and throat allow it to swallow huge chunks of meat very quickly. Worm lizards. Gosh, if you guys have never seen one of these, definitely Google it. They are pretty amazing. Most worm lizards have no arms or legs, and they spend all their lives under soil. They use their heads to dig tunnels through the ground. The Mexican mole lizard is a type of worm lizard that has tiny forearms, which it uses to dig, but it has no rear legs. Worm lizards can move backwards, and they can easily move forwards. They move like an accordion, rippling their loose skin to pull themselves forward. Worm lizards' eyes and ears are covered with skin, giving them poor hearing and vision. Check out that crazy looking lizard. That is so cool. To geckos. Let's do a whole lizard fact marathon. See, the eyes of a gecko are 350 times more sensitive to light than human eyes. A gecko can hold its whole body weight on one toe. Most geckos cling to smooth vertical surfaces using millions of tiny hairs on their feet. He likes this. The flying gecko can't actually fly, but uses its skin flaps to glide. If attacked, a gecko can break off its tail and escape and then grow another. Watch what he does with his tail. Oh, you're not going to do it. Like a cat. You see that? I'm not picking it up. That's just him. Most geckos have fixed eyelids and cannot blink. They lick them instead. "11 chameleon facts." Hold on, everyone. I'm just going to do a quick check on YouTube to make sure there's no questions. Okay. There are 80 different species of chameleon. Half of these live on the island of Madagascar. The male chameleons are usually more colorful than females. With eyes on each side of the head, a chameleon can look in 2 different directions at once. The egg of the Parsons chameleon can take up to 2 years to hatch. Wow. Hi, Willow. I'm glad you like this. I like it too. I don't know if you guys can see him very well. Let me see if I can change. There's Junior. He was sleeping. He's like, "Mom, you just woke me up." Sorry, buddy. Okay. Chameleons have no ears, but they can still sense vibrations in the air. A chameleon's tongue can be up to 2 times its body length. Now, if you guys have any recommendations on animals you want to learn about, we are about halfway through the animals that we're going to highlight today. So let me know on recommendations. 10 facts about crocodiles. Crocodiles can swim up to 15 miles an hour. They do not swim using their legs, but push themselves forward by swishing their tails side to side. On land, crocodiles crawl on their bellies. When they want to move quickly, they hold up their bodies above the ground and do a movement called high walk. And just before they hatch, baby crocodiles call out to their mothers from inside their eggs. This lets the mother know to come and guard them. Yeah, crocodilians are really amazing mothers. The Nile crocodile can grow up to 20 feet long. Crocodiles live in a very long time. A freshwater crocodile at the Australia Zoo called Mr. Freshie is thought to be over 130 years old. Crocodiles have another set of teeth on their jaws already to replace the broken ones. There's a big crocodile. Let's see. Should we do venomous snake facts? Is there anything about elephants? I think we can find something on elephants. Absolutely. Elephants, 28, page 28. Oh, we got it. There you go. There are two kinds of elephants, African and Asian. African elephants have much bigger ears. Their big ears keep them cool on hot days. Just as we are left or right-handed, elephants are left or right tusked. Tusks are those big, crazy, cool teeth that come out. The dominant tusk is usually more worn down than the other one. Female African elephants have a gestation or pregnancy that is 22 months long, longer than any other animal. Elephants use mud or sand as sunblock. Elephants have 26 teeth, which are usually replaced 6 or 7 times a year. It's kind of like a factory line. It's really cool. As one tooth comes up, a new one, it pushes them, and by that time, the one on the bottom is probably all wore out. An elephant's heart beats only 25 times per minute, about 3 times more slowly than the average human heart. Female elephants spend all their lives in their family groups. Each group is led by an old female called the matriarch. If it's an old male, it's called a patriarch, P. Elephants can communicate by stomping on the ground. Other elephants sense the vibrations many miles away, so they can actually hear with their feet. It's pretty neat. Do we have any other recommendations for animals? If not, I actually just got a really cool project. I'm working with the Amphibian and Reptile Conservancy about how to bring awareness to amphibians. So our last animal we're going to highlight is going to be amphibians. There are about 550 species of salamander compared to the 5,500 species of lizard. Most salamanders breathe with lungs above water and with gills underwater. There's one group of salamanders that has gills but no lungs, and on land, they breathe through their skin. That's so crazy. The spotted salamander hides in forest foliage. It is very hard to find despite having bright yellow spots. To escape an attack, some salamanders shed their tails. The separated tail will wiggle to distract the predator. The Chinese giant salamander is the largest in the world. It can weigh up to 145 pounds, the equivalent of an average human female. It can also grow 6 feet long as a tall man. The olm is a blind and transparent salamander. It can survive without food for over 10 years. Wow. So you guys will be hearing a lot of salamander facts as I will be helping the Amphibian and Reptile Conservancy. Well, that's it, everyone. Thank you so very much for joining me for Storytime. Junior, he says hi too. Junior, you want to give everyone a good night kiss? You gotta let go though. His tail. Give everyone a kiss. He just wants to climb on it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Remember, we're going to be doing these lives for nature class every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, or what is that? 4 p.m. Eastern time. And then we're going to be doing story time with Junior or one of my other creepy crawly roommates every night at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night. I'll see you soon. Say good night, Junior.